I remember I told somebody, "Can you open the boot?" They're like, "The boot, the boot behind the car, the boot." I'm like, "What?" It was so frustrating because that's the only word that I know.
No,
That's the
yeah,
only word that I
yeah.
know, and I kept on repeating. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bridging Cultures. We're going to be talking about different cultures in different parts of the world. And today I got my first guest over here. She's going to introduce herself. She's going to tell you what's her name and what's the part of the world that she traveled to. And then she's going to talk about it today. So, on to her.
Yes, my name is Candy, and I visited Gambia for the first time.
That's nice. You heard it.
hmm
So, to my first question, what inspired you to visit Africa the first time?
I always love Africa, just any part of Africa, the culture, everything. I always wanted to um, visit there.
Mhm.
I like the people, I like the dress, just like everything about Africa, the food,
Mhm.
everything. So,
That's crazy. Have you tried African food before?
all the time. Oh, all the
How
time. I
many
like
African food places do you have over
Well, we don't have a lot here, but I go to African Palace and I
here?
go to what is it called? Um, le- levels.
Oh, I've heard about
Yes,
levels. I've never been down there.
yeah, and their food is so good. My favorite is the jollof rice, and I like the tilapia, the fish. And why I like African, how African prepared it, it's like whole fish. It's like with the eyeballs, everything. And so we don't often do that. So I like the fufu. My favorite now is goat pepper soup.
Gold pepper
Yeah.
soup. I've
But
heard
in
about
Gambia,
it.
there's not, yeah. In Gambia, I see a lot of, I think it's called yassa. It's like the rice and chicken.
Mhm.
And I fell in love with that. That's a delicious dish. I tried to make it at home. I wasn't successful.
Oh,
But
that's crazy. You should give it more try. You might
yeah,
have.
I
You
got to
might have.
try it a little more.
You'll find out. You'll find out. So, what was your first impression when you landed in Africa? Like the place you went to?
I felt like I was home. The people were so friendly. Like, the first thing I realized is our airports, like the friendliness of their airports versus airports here in America. It's like business, everything is rush, rush, rush.
Mhm.
But it was like so relaxing. Everybody was friendly, nice. It was just like very welcoming. I have no complaints
I thought it
about
was
it.
going to be different.
No, it was relaxing. It was like everybody was nice. Everybody was friendly. Like they were like nobody was like rushing me. And actually, somebody else told me that like with airports, period, like
Mhm.
in different countries,
Mhm.
it's more relaxing. Like here, they yell at you. It's like a big security, all these security measures. It's really like just like go go go, and it's like but the people were friendly and they were speaking, and so they don't call Gambia the smiling coast for nothing. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
everybody was really friendly
I
there.
would have
So
honestly thought it was the vice versa. Honestly, I think
mm-mm.
coming from Kenya, the customs are kind of different.
Really.
We got a lot of checkpoints, honestly, and it's kind of exhausting just to do it. It's like I'm tired. I'm
Really.
tired already, and I'm not even on the plane already. I'm like, I'm done with
Oh
this.
wow. No, I did see people like dressed up in like military gear and stuff,
Mhm.
and I was like, I thought it would be intimidating, but they were nice. They were like, they weren't, they were like, oh, step over here, and they let me go run and get this and that. I left that over there. I mean, like they were just friendly. Like I had no issues at the airport.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
I wish I would have gone there and experienced this too, but hey, I have a different
You
experience
have
from
to.
Kenya. Then I have to
Yeah,
travel to Gambia and find it out.
it's nice.
Yeah. So, what stood out to you the most about the culture, like in comparison to the United States?
Just how the people treated you. I
Mhm.
think the people were really warm and friendly. The people were just really like cool.
Mhm.
The culture is more Muslim country, so a lot of the women dress different. Even though I was covered on American basis over here,
Mhm.
over there they were really covered during the daytime. So I kind of felt a little naked sometimes, but with my shoulders out or whatever. But that's the first thing I saw that they and I like the women over there was very feminine,
Mhm.
very and so it was just I felt like I felt at home. But
Mm.
yes, I did feel naked. You know, a couple of the outfits I had, I'm like, oh, okay, wait, you know. I mean, I don't be dressed, but I'm saying for if somebody covered from head to toe, like if somebody,
It feels a bit a little bit different.
yeah, it felt, yeah, that's what kind of stood out to me. Like they were like even the younger girls, but that was during the day. At night,
Did it make you feel a little bit embarrassed of dressing some type of way, or
it made me feel like I was being disrespectful to the culture. I
okay,
did at first, you know, I
okay,
did, but later on at night, you
mm-hmm.
know, I did see like people dress more like what you will see in Western culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their skirts and stuff at the nightlife, and so then I'm like, okay, but during the day, everybody is dressed like full. You know, it's hot, but they are fully covered, you know,
Okay,
for the
speaking of
most
the
part.
temperature,
Mm-hmm.
how would you compare it down there every single day in comparison to the United States? Like, let's say, for instance, in the summer.
The heat there is so moist. I didn't even need lotion. When I tell you, like sometimes the back of my foot get dry when I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it never happens. It's like having a constant humidifier. It was my makeup wouldn't stay on. Everything was just sliding off. My hair wouldn't stay curled. I mean, it was the moisture in the air was like ridiculous. And I don't know if that's because we're close to the beach or what, but it's just like that was the thing that I noticed. Like you after a long day I would come back
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like drenched, like I thought I was sweating, but it was just the
Is it
moisture.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I've been asked that question a lot of times too. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
what's the best way to put it because they think Africa is too hot,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's not really that hot like over here
Yeah,
during the
it's hot.
summer.
Yeah.
It's
That's what
hot, yeah, but
it's hotter here.
you can be
Yeah.
dressed fully and still be normal.
Yes, I noticed that. And like even my skin didn't really need moisturizer or anything. Like I get dry spots on my face, like
Mm-hmm.
none of that. Like my skin cleared up, like it was like really the moisture. I even went and got me a humidifier thinking I could get
Wow,
that, you know, at home, but yeah.
wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the things that stood out to you over there?
Um, Besides the dress, you know, and the friendliness,
Mm-hmm. And the
um,
culture.
and the call, you know, it was, you know, the food was really fresh. I could taste the difference. The food was really fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and things were cheaper. A
Okay.
lot of things were cheaper out there. I
Okay.
was seeing like $2 flip flops, and you know, and I'm like, man,
Oh.
I need to, yeah, yeah. So those are the main things. It was just like, um, I don't know, it was just like a different vibe.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Yeah, I like the fact that it's cheap over there too. That's the one thing
Much,
that I love
yes.
about it. I mean, the
Hmm.
dollars compared to the currency back home is a little bit. The more
Oh
the
yeah.
dollars you got over here, the more the money you got back home, and that's one
Yes.
thing that I love about it. But it's crazy how things are overpriced over here too. Oh man.
I know. That's
Oh.
the thing. I'm like, man, I'm like, and then you would think the quality is worse. Like I even like driving around,
Mm.
it reminded me of being like in Chinatown. I haven't been in New York in a long time, but
Mhm.
every like all the shops set up around everywhere.
Mhm.
And then you do have a lot of haggling, you
Mhm.
know, people trying to get you to buy the stuff and things like that.
That's pretty much common in
Yeah.
Africa. Unlike over here, I
Yeah.
think the only place that I've seen that in St. Louis is Open Market. I don't remember what the last place I went to.
It's probably like one of those what do you call it when we have those festivals and they'll have like
Yeah,
different shops set up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's only one place that I've seen that over here, but Africa is just something that's common. Like,
Yeah. And
and
I
I
noticed
love it
that.
about it because you can see different people, different same thing, different
Hmm.
prices. You're like, I don't even have to shop a lot. It's just I
Right.
need that. Let me bring. Yeah,
Yep. Yes. And and I didn't bring a big budget that time
yeah.
to shop, but if I next time, like I'm like, yeah,
Oh wow,
you
that's
know, yeah.
nice.
But it's
That's
I saw some things, and you would think that you know people assume like the quality it may be poor, but no, it wasn't. The quality
mhm.
was just as good. It's just that we pay more for it.
Definitely because of
Yeah,
taxes and too. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, what are the? Did you encounter any language barriers like? The communication, was it swift? Did you need a translator?
Most people there spoke English pretty well,
Hmm.
and so didn't have any really real issues with language barriers. Now there is like misinterpretations, like they'll say things that I'm not used to hearing. It may sound a little funny to me.
Hmm.
Like they'll be like off the fan or off, just or different like interpretations of
Different
things.
wording,
Yeah,
yeah.
different wording, but I clearly knew like what they were trying to say. So I could see people like getting things like sometimes with the language, I can see people misunderstanding like what a
Definitely,
person's
definitely.
saying. Yeah, like yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I get that. Because I think my first time over here too, when I landed in the United States, I was in Pennsylvania the first time, and I had my luggage, and I remember I told somebody, "Can you open the boot?" They're like, "What?" And it's
Yeah.
so for me, it was so frustrating because that's the only word that I know.
No,
That's
yeah,
the only word that I
yeah.
know, and I kept on repeating. I'm like, the boot behind the car, the boot. I'm like, what? He kept on looking at me like
So
I'm
you were trying
new,
to say
I'm
like the
stupid.
trunk.
The trunk,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So at the end of it all, I just went and pointed at him. Then he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you talking about the trunk?" I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Never had that before." I had to look it up. A
Yeah.
trunk means something different. It's like a luggage, but two. I'm like,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's
oh my
exactly.
god, it was so frustrating at that point. I'm like, wow. And the problem is we're so used to British English, and this American English is different. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the barrier for me
Yeah.
the first time over
Yep.
here. Wow, that's nice to hear
That's
that.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. How about the transportation? How was it? Did you use public transport? Did you have to hire a car?
Yeah. So luckily I did know somebody out there, but for the most part, I just went back and forth through the cabs.
Hmm.
And we just paid with the dollar C and just I went back and forth that way.
Was it too expensive to do a lot of cabs from one time? Oh no,
It
one
was
place to another.
very cheap, but and I noticed that's another thing difference. A lot
Hmm.
of things you can negotiate. Like here, it's like the price is what it
It's
is. You
set
pay,
up to be what it
yes,
is.
it's
Yeah.
set up. You get it in. You jump in an Uber or whatever.
Hmm.
Everything is set, but there you can
You can
negotiate.
haggle the price. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
can negotiate
That's one thing I love
most
about
things
it. But
there.
at the same time, they can play you. They can play
Oh
you.
yeah, that's why if you're American and you going, I would suggest knowing somebody
That yeah.
because if you go there
And
like
you're new, and they know that you're
yes, they
new.
know you're going to get taken for
Yeah.
everything. And then if somebody, this is another thing
Hmm.
about the culture. One guy was like, he was cutting a coconut and he was like, oh, here, and you don't realize that they're expecting a tip for everything.
Uh,
So they're doing things, they'll do something for you and then they'll wait on a tip. And it's like, but but I caught myself. I'm like, when he was cutting it, he was like, oh, here, I'll give you. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Let me think. He's gonna want a tip. He's gonna want something. So a lot of times,
uh,
like you got to be careful because somebody may do something for you and they may expect
it's it.
something in
Yeah.
return. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Honestly, I do get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was your hygiene down there? Was the water different? Was it salty? Was it hot? Was it room temperature?
Okay. So I've been there twice
Uh huh.
already. So the
Uh
first time I stayed in a resort. The water was warm. Everything. Another difference is because it's a Muslim country.
huh.
I think they wash instead of tissue. They actually use a bidet or something like
Yeah.
that, or they'll do a cup of water. That was very difficult to get used to because
Was
even
it
though
uncomfortable for you?
well I have a bidet, but I don't like to stay wet, so I do like to wipe. So, but the first time at the resort,
Hmm.
I had tissue and I had warm water and everything. I did get sick the first time because of the water. I believe I had a friend that told me I was supposed to put something to clean because I ended up getting sick.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
from that. And I was had to get medicine and everything from the pharmacy. I got really sick. So I would suggest that if you go, I got to remember what it was. You have to put in the water,
Hmm.
but to kind of clean it.
You
Yeah.
can't use no baby wipes.
You can use baby wipes, but I'm saying like actually showering,
Oh,
like
okay, okay,
down, like yeah, when
okay.
you shower, like yeah, it did get me sick.
Oh wow, I'm sorry
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, it was okay.
But
I was down for
at least now you know. So next time you go,
yes,
you get you prepared now. The next time you go down there.
yeah. Now the second time I stayed in an apartment and it
Mhm.
did not have hot water.
Well, Obama.
It did not have hot water. I bathed with um I bathed for the most part, like in certain areas, I
Mhm.
bathed with the water, the purified water. Like I bought the water, and I used that for that, But I just on my flesh, I just used the regular water from the shower. But then when I was ready to,
You
you
should have
know,
done like you should have done like back in the days. Just tap the water, put it out there in the sun, let it heat up, let it heat up, then take a shower with it. I
uh,
remember back in the days when we used to do that. It was hectic. You had to make sure the sun was not setting. You got to take a shower between 12 and 4 p.m. I swear to
really, and
God.
it warm it up.
Yeah, you gotta tap your water because mostly when it comes from the tap,
What?
it's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. So when it's cold, tap it out, put it out in the stand, let it heat up a little bit, let it get warm, then take your shower. But if
Oh
you
my.
come and take your shower in the evening, be expected for a cold shower. It's stressful. Back in the day, it was different. Thank God we got hot showers
I
nowadays.
know, I know.
I would
Yeah,
have
it
not
was.
survived. Oh
I know,
man.
and that's the other because I'm used to taking like a bath. I got to take a bath like every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. I just like
Yeah.
sitting in the water, and it's like no, it's like a cold. Yeah. So the second time, it was like kind of frustrating because it was no cold, no hot water.
Mhm.
It was, it was a couple of mice. You
Okay.
know,
Did that scare you?
you know, yeah, it was kind
Did
of
you
like
jump?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They didn't bother me too much, but it was like, but the resort was beautiful. Like the first time, the resort, I mean, it was beautiful.
Mhm.
It was warm shower. I mean, everything. So, but if you stay in the apartments, even though they are much cheaper, like half the price,
Pretty much.
it's much cheaper to stay there. And I'm not saying every apartment like that. Some
Nah,
of
not
them, yeah,
really.
they
You
some of
got
them
classy
may.
apartments too, yeah.
Yeah, and then you also the lights. You have to keep putting money on the lights to keep the lights going on. Like because the system, the lights go off
Mm-hmm.
occasionally.
Okay.
So the electricity you buy it as you go.
Oh, in my
Yeah.
country, we call that
Mhm.
tokens.
Okay. Yeah, you
You
buy
buy
it.
tokens. Like you can buy a token for like a week. You can buy,
Yes.
if you don't have enough money, you can buy a token for a night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we call them tokens. So you gotta go pay. You
Ah.
gotta pay online. They give you a number, a code to put in the whatever meter box.
Mm-hmm.
Type it in, then it's go.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's what.
That's
So
what it is. Yeah. So I understand
yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah.
But
That's
at the
crazy.
the resort, I didn't have to worry about that. And the lights did go a couple of times. Usually they have a generator that backs up, but it was like one time it was so slow. Like at the restaurant,
Mhm.
we ate in the dark.
Woo! I think
Yeah,
that's the one. That's the only downside to Africa. I hate it.
yeah,
I hate it.
yeah.
If the power is out, it's out until it comes back on.
Hmm.
It's not the United States alive for one thing. It's not gonna go out like that.
Yeah. Oh no, we have a fit. We have a
Oh
fit if it's
yeah,
out for 10 minutes.
man,
Yeah.
that's crazy though. I'm surprised,
Hmm.
but it's a good thing you experienced that. Now
Oh
you know.
yeah, yeah. Now I know. Now I
Now you
know.
know.
Hmm.
How about the wildlife? Did you go to the zoo? Probably if they got a zoo over there.
So it was like a safari. Did not get to see like all the animals because the first time, both times I got there late
Mhm.
because we had to take a what is it like a ferry across there. It's a long trip. We went
Oh,
into Senegal, and
okay.
so we didn't get to see like the animals, but the lions.
Mhm.
That's what I got a chance to do. Walk with the lions, and that was
Walk with
an
them.
experience. Yes, and that was
I
an
will never dare to
experience.
do that. I'm from Africa, but I would never dare to do that.
Yeah,
Never in my life. I'll
I'm
just watch it
like,
from a distance, but I'm not gonna touch it or walk with it. Nah.
well, it was like five guys out there, so I'm like, you eat them first.
That is crazy. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
well, it's a good
I be
experience.
hearing people say that, like they be caressing them and all that. I'm like, man,
Yeah, they didn't let
I'm
us
from down
touch
there, but
them or
I never thought about that. Man, it's
nothing.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't let us touch them or nothing. And but I have seen people doing it in different. I think in Mali and different. It's different places that they
Hmm.
do that too,
Hmm.
and they can. I personally like touching them and stuff like that. That's
You were
probably.
scared?
I wasn't scared, but I was just like I didn't want to make too much of a sudden move because I know animals can sense fear, and
Yeah.
and because that it'll make you more like apprehensive, and you don't want the lion to be like, wait a minute, she may be fooled, like she up there. Nah. But no, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it was cool. It
Ah,
was a good experience.
that's nice. That's
Hmm.
nice. Wow. How would you describe the landscape down there?
Ooh,
Like the
everything
experience, like
is
the maneuver and all that.
very difficult to maneuver. Feel very dangerous. Like people were like
Is it too steepy, winding
no, it was
roads?
okay. So it was like the land was flat, but it was like a lot of like muddy,
Hmm.
like you'll get a run into a lot of potholes. It was pretty much flat, and Gambia is so small. It's probably
So
smaller
it's
than the
pretty
state. Yeah.
much Maram Road, like rough road.
Yeah, it was really the roads were really rough.
Hmm.
How the people drive was really dangerous to me because they were going head on, like getting out the lane. Like the rules were like there were no. I didn't see many stop signs.
We don't have.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, a few times I screamed out. I'm thinking we're gonna hit something, and it was so that was a little bit. I'm like, as far as
It's
driving,
another part of St. Louis.
yeah, I know one thing. I wasn't gonna drive down there.
Yeah, I'm good. I think when I went down there, I drove, but
Really?
we drive on the left though.
Yeah, they do
So
too.
we drive on the left,
Mm.
and it's the driving kind of scared me a little bit, but I think the St. Louis lifestyle prepared me for that.
Oh
I mean, I'm
yeah,
born down there, but I never used to
yeah.
drive before I
Drive
came
down there.
over. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. They drive
The
crazy
St.
in
Louis
St.
life
Louis
over here prepared me for that
for
because it's
that.
crazy. It's crazy, especially the public means of transport. They be
Yeah,
driving like crazy.
yeah.
They drive like crazy. You
Crazy.
might think you're dying, but I think
Right.
the people down there are used to it. They just there.
I
We
know.
waiting for our
Yeah.
destination.
I'm
That's it.
screaming and everybody else is like,
Cool.
what's wrong
Everybody's
with her?
cool.
Like, yeah, like
Somebody
we
busy on
about
this
to
for this.
die. Right. Thinking like we about to die.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, I get that part. If it scared
Yeah.
you, yeah, I get it. Man,
Yeah.
that's nice. What's one thing that you would say you learned during the visit that changed your perspective on Africa or Gambia?
Okay, so first of all, the hygiene. Like a lot of times people think that it's like dirty. People really clean,
Mhm.
they clean a lot. And of course, I think with the Muslim, that's part of the religion is to be really clean and very clean. I had the girl clean out my ears and stuff for me. I mean, that is a misconception,
Mhm.
so it was but there are some other hygiene
Mhm.
concerns like um the food sometimes is not prepared the same way. And I got sick before with eating food,
Mhm.
so just gotta be.
Wait, what do you mean it was not prepared the same way? Like,
It may not like what we used to because we have more regulations and stuff like of how food should be out and things of
and
that
how long it
nature.
should be up for?
Yeah, and then like I probably can just right now go out there and open up a shop and just start selling food. Like here, you're not supposed to do that to the
Ah,
public. Yeah, you supposed
I
to.
know what you're talking about. Street
Yeah,
food.
yeah. There you
Street
go.
food.
Street food. Yeah. So
But that's the best part about Africa, though. The street
yeah,
food
I
is
wanted to
just.
try everything, and like I said, like some stuff didn't agree. I got sick immediately. So
Yeah, I get that.
yeah,
People get food poisoning probably too. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of common, because our system may not be used to. So I would say like eating, just be cautious,
Hmm.
and
If
just
your
be
stomach don't
cautious.
go with
Yeah, if
it,
your
don't eat
stomach,
too much
yeah,
though.
don't eat too much. Take your time and everything. But the food is good. It's fresh. You could tell the difference that it's fresh and
Hmm.
things of that nature. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I would like to see what kind of street food they got down there, but I'll have to visit over there to find out. Yeah. What would you say? So, what would you do differently if you were to visit again?
First of all, I will prepare myself. I will bring like medicines,
Hmm.
um, just to make sure. The second trip, I brought tissue. I
Hmm.
bring tissue, my own tissue.
Hmm.
If you have to stop at a public restroom, then you not gonna have any tissue, pretty
Oh,
much.
that. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I get that.
so
I get that. I get that.
I would bring tissue. I would. I mean, that's pretty much it. Just, of course, I'm cautious of the way I dress during the day.
Hmm. Hmm.
I want to be respectful to the culture, even though nobody cares,
No
nobody
bikini shorts or
complains.
none.
I don't do that, you know. But I just want to be respectful.
Yeah.
But everybody, like I said, everybody was pretty much nice. Everybody was, friendly. I didn't have any really negative experiences like that. Even when I went to they had some kind of restaurant where they had singing and live music, and the
Hmm.
women asked me to dance with them. I danced
Did
with
you
the women.
dance?
I
Oh
danced. I danced
wow!
with the
You
women,
brought
and
the African in you, huh?
yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, they were so sweet. They rolled off the red carpet. The lady
Wow.
serenaded. She specifically had a song for me, and
Yeah.
yeah, they were just very, very nice,
Oh
especially
man,
the first time around.
that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
That's
but and
nice.
I'll bring money for shopping. I'll bring money for
Oh yeah,
shopping.
you most definitely gonna shop a lot of African stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yes,
Yeah.
I'll bring money for
Even
shopping.
us when we go down there, we do the same thing because we don't have them
Yeah,
over here. So we go down and bring some African stuff over
stuff
here
about
too.
there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and just be prepared to like you spend money, know that those prices can be negotiated.
Most definitely know how to negotiate or
Right,
have somebody by your side who can do that.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly, because you will spend a whole lot more, you
Definitely.
know
Definitely.
yeah.
Oh wow. Did you take any personal lessons from interacting with people down there, like experiences?
um I'm a person who likes just different cultures. So it was but I would say this.
Hmm.
I noticed the difference is the spending is a lot less,
They
and
spend less.
they spend way less. Like the country, they don't spend money every day. Like I feel like even like coming here, like I'd be ashamed. Like they're very simple people.
Hmm.
Nobody is looking at how you are dressed. Like, oh, are you um in latest fashion, or you wearing this, whatever,
Hmm.
back in America, a lot of that stuff.
Happens.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but there, like, nobody cares. It's just so, it felt so relaxing. Like I felt so comfortable. Like,
So like you belonged.
yeah, like I belonged, and like nobody is like really worried about what, it just was more like relaxing, more like, I could let my hair down. I could just, you know,
Oh wow, that's
I can
nice.
kick off my shoes, whatever. I just felt comfortable,
Oh wow.
you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice. You had mentioned something about bringing medicine. I got a question. I know a lot of Americans are scared of this.
Hmm.
Did you have to experience a lot of mosquitoes down there?
You know what? The first time I did, it is mosquitoes.
Hmm.
But I didn't. It wasn't like crazy. The first time I did get ate up on my leg, I did, at the resort, and I think that's because we were closer to the beach.
Hmm.
But no, the second time it wasn't horrible,
Okay.
you know. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I did bring off. I brought sprayed myself down, and then they had a net. Like when I was stayed at the resort, they actually had a mosquito net. So
Oh yeah, we do have
yeah,
those a lot too. The hospitals give them for free too.
yeah. Oh, do
Yeah,
they?
yeah, they do. Not
Uh,
unless they changed it. I don't know. Because the last time I was down there was in 2017. So yeah,
uh,
they used to give it for free, but right now I don't even know.
yeah.
Yeah. And then, what's the most stereotypical thing you've heard about Africans? This is general, not about Gambia though.
Well, I think with Africa, some people think that it's like really what is the word I'm trying to use? Like it's like they're not up to date. It's like slow, like you people are climbing trees or you know what I'm saying? Like people are like, there are
We
villages.
kill lions.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You killing lions
Kill
with your
lions
hand with
and
your bare
tigers.
right, jumping outside. So, but I think we're getting out of that. I think a lot of people since there's we with social media and
Mm,
things like that, I think people are getting out of that and they're seeing like Ghana and different places like just it's not that
yeah,
but there are places where there are like we went through the villages and there are places where people are like really living like that
in the
but
open.
it's yeah like they're living like yeah more like that but and that's respectful, that's their way of
I
living.
mean, I'd say that's considered nomadism kind of life
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it depends too. It depends on what their culture is because you got like in our country. I'm not gonna speak about Gambia because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
In our country, you got Maasai. The
They
tribe
do.
is called Maasai, so
Oh.
they live a nomadism or a nomadic kind of life whereby they have different livestocks.
Okay.
So, like for instance, if the season for like this is a dry season, they're gonna move from this place, like let's say from St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
they'll go to Wentzville where there's pasture.
Oh,
So they
okay.
don't have to make better houses; they just make some houses called manята.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like a
That's
makeshift, but it's just
okay.
helping them just to how does I say to have a roof over themselves
Oh, long as
for
they
the
have a.
time they've been down there.
Oh,
So
that's neat.
yeah,
Okay.
so they live nomadism kind of life, but I'd say I don't know about Gambia, so I'm just trying to use an
Yeah,
example.
well,
That's
and
why.
that's true. That's pretty much because actually on the way home, I met a girl who actually was part of the Peace Corps, and
Mhm.
she lived in the villages. And when I tell you her story is way different from mine, I mean, she lost so much weight. She was getting sick. She was laying on some kind of stone thing. I mean, like she couldn't last. She had to go home because she was like the villages is a total different.
Most definitely, yeah.
If you're not raised from birth up to that and you're not used to it,
You cannot survive more than a month. Yeah,
it's like trying to survive outside. Like
yeah.
it's very difficult, but it's different parts of Africa. It's different parts like you got it's different.
Mhm.
So it's just not one thing like a lot of times we used to think about like back that we used to watch the Discovery Channel whatever. Yeah, you see people
Coming
running.
to
Yeah.
America.
Although I like to see that, I respect that, but it's not like everything is not like that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
depicted
Right.
a different picture than what it is.
Yes, yes. Africa is beautiful
Yeah,
and it's like cultured, and that's what I mainly like. I like to see how the locals live. I don't want to just be in a tourist area. Like I can see
yeah.
y'all at home.
You just don't want to see the fancy places. You just want to
Yeah, I
go
don't want
deeper
to
and
see.
deeper.
Yeah, I like to see it all.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice. So last question is, what would you recommend? Would you recommend anybody to travel to Africa?
Everybody, everybody, especially our people, I would say you will feel so comfortable, you will feel so much at home,
Hmm.
at peace.
Hmm.
It just feel like a place you really feel like you belong.
Okay.
And and I'm not a person who really subscribes to the race thing like that, but really you do. Like when you have everybody looking in your face that look like you,
Hmm.
and it just and I had a couple of people who was like, welcome home, and stuff like that. It was just a good experience. I would suggest, everybody to try it
Okay.
once at
Okay.
least.
So
Yeah.
they are not judgmental down there.
I didn't experience, okay, the only thing I experienced that was kind of different was when we went, like, it was fishing,
Hmm.
and I had pulled out my camera, and the girl was like, no, don't put, like, don't put
Ah,
like,
wow.
yeah, yeah and stuff, but I wanted to be respectful. I don't
Hmm.
know if she thought that I'm like trying to take pictures or
Of
something,
them, yeah, yeah.
yeah, or what I'm trying to do. She didn't. She was confused.
Hmm.
So that was the only thing I felt like, um, and sometimes you feel like some people,
Hmm.
not everybody can feel like because you're American that you feel like you have some type of air or entitlement over them or
Yeah, yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. You feel like they may feel like that.
Hmm.
Um, but that was the only only a couple of people I experienced that with, but most people were nice and kind. But some people were like, more like may think that you think you're
Better than them.
better
Yeah.
because you're from the Western,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But nah.
Yeah, it happens. Not everybody's
Yeah,
the same
not every.
everywhere.
That's
So,
right.
yep.
But that
Yeah,
was it.
I get it. That's nice. Well, that was a good show, guys.
Yeah.
If you would like to subscribe, comment, let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Check us on what we said. If we was wrong, correct
Yeah.
us. We'll
That's
rectify it
right.
next time. And with that, we'll have to go. Until next time.